Here's the 2.3 Sapphire large format CoreXY 3D printer that we've been waiting for. This one comes from SainSmart and it's called CoreCeption 300. So let's get into the pros for the CoreCeption 300. Direct extruder out of the box so you don't have to upgrade. Linear rails, and these seem beefier than the regular H rails in the 2.3 Sapphire. Definitely this adds to rigidity. You have the direct extruder Titan extruder, which has been good to me even as a clone, so the design of the Titan extruder still works. You may have to fiddle with the tension on the filament for long 3D prints so you avoid any breakages. But because this is a direct extruder, the retraction will be at the minimum, so it should not cause any problems with the retraction. Dual side or square support Z-axes and dual Z lead screws. That is the feature that all CoreXY 3D printers should have no matter the size of the bed. Usually the smaller ones do not have the square supports, they just have the one side, and that allows for vibrations to creep into the bed. No matter how you slice it, so far nothing beats having the Z support axes on both sides. I like the dual Z lead screws, and I would like it more if these lead screws would be kept in sync with a closed loop GT2 belt mechanism inside the base of the 3D printer. This feature was also available on the Sidewinder X1, but that was at the top of the gantry. But I bet you someone will implement this feature in the CoreXY 3D printer, and that would take the market by storm. I definitely dig the bed leveling knobs and the fact that there are 4 of them. The 2.3 Sapphire S has only 3, and I'm not happy with that, especially when I have to finally adjust the bed. Carbon crystal glass platform. I hope this improves adhesion, getting the part to stay stuck on the bed and releasing it easy when the bed is cold. But this we may never know. We're still working on that as a community. If you check closely, this 3D printer's Z lead screws seem to come with installed anti-backlash Z lead screws T-nuts. And if these are properly made, they may not make that horrendous snap sound mine made in the 2.3 Sapphire. But if you have a repetitive snapping sound, then you should check the T-nuts or replace them with regular ones to see if the snapping sound still remains. Another good feature may be the side horizontal rails that serve 2 functions. One to stiffen the frame, and the second, they are the supports onto which the Z lead screws and the Z support axes are connected by the 2 metal plates. There are a few more nice features I would like to enumerate. The 24 volt output power supply at 15 amps and the heated bed up to 100 degrees Celsius or 212 Fahrenheit. And of course the silent 2208 TMC stepper controllers for quiet operation. This 3D printer is marketed as a bedroom 3D printer, but I would like you to abstain from keeping this 3D printer in your bedroom, especially when it's 3D printing at night for a couple of days or days on, because this is a health concern. I don't think thermoplastic or PLA or ABS or any of those PETG plastics are completely safe from breathing or inhaling while they're molten, so don't do it. And if you're not convinced, just check the video on the 3D printing health concerns. This 3D printer looks a lot like the 2.3 Sapphire, and I wonder if this is a new type of marketing, make a product under one brand and then move on and establish another brand. However, SainSmart seems to be an established brand. I wonder if the lead designer moved from 2.3 Sapphire to this, or SainSmart, they just saw the design and they decided to improve upon. Now let's get into the cons of this 3D printer. One slight con or inconvenience is that there is no automatic bed leveling, but usually with the CoreXYs, you kind of don't need it. And if you want to fine tune the bed with the knobs, it should suffice better than the actual automatic bed leveling. And sometimes that may even cause problems because you have to disable it in firmware, or maybe it has it in the menu just to do a manual one. One inconvenience that I'm hung up on is the fact that they don't have a USB port for the USB stick from which to load the G-code. So it seems we're back to that pesky tiny little SD card that you can so easily break or lose. So that's a little inconvenience for me. I'm not sure quite yet if this is a con or not. But the serial port or the VGA port that connects to the direct extruder may be inconvenient because it may not be readily available to extend, replace, or tweak. Hopefully retailers have replacements and tweaks available. I was checking the SainSmart website and I got to say I'm kind of sold on this company, and we shall see what will be their next CoreXY 3D printer iteration. One cool feature would have been the Z-lead screws synced with a GT2 belt, but until then I bid thee mon amis farewell and adieu. On this channel, I speak mostly about 3D printers and their particular specifications, features, or lack thereof. Sometimes I may throw a wrench in the system with a review about my computer setup and or car fixing video. If you think you can stomach this type of format, throw me a like or a subscribe. Thank you.